Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Virtuosos. Jules and Damon here. Damien's not here. He has to go somewhere to do something with some person. I don't know why. He think he can make plans. We got to record. So we're gonna talk about his favorite sport, the only sport his team is good at, the NBA. He missing the NBA talk when his team is 0-2 right now. So hey, y'all gotta talk to him about that. I don't know where he at. Y'all talk to him.
Thunder and the Dolphins got the same amount of wins right now.
Like shit like that is crazy. But the NBA is coming up. We're excited for the NBA season. Last year was actually a really good year. I think that was like you felt the real effects of the second apron and good team building. How to manage contracts, how you're gonna see contracts going forward and stuff like that. But overall, really good year, really entertaining playoffs. Like you've seen emerging stars. Unfortunately, we did have a lot of injuries, so that kind of plays into what we're going to talk about, and the fact that certain players are going to be breaking out, whether that's a bench player going into a six-man role, six-man going into a starter role, a starter being a better starter, a decent starter turned into a 1A or 1B kind of player, a starter going into an all-star going to all-NBA, all-NBA going to MVP. Like the pipeline remains the same. You have to go through all of that at some point if you're going to be a high-level player. But we're going to talk about some players that we believe are going to be in the category of taking their next step. It could be, like I said, anybody realistically. Damon did last year. He was good on Cade Cunningham. Really perfect. Somebody I actually like a lot this year for, potential MVP candidate. So the fact that he was on Cade Cunningham last year, I'm going to assume that Cade Cunningham can't be on this list because we know he's made that pipeline. The pipeline is there. If we think he's going to be MVP, then obviously, he can be MVP. But he did everything so far, He's gradually improving. And these are guys we see on that, that trajectory in their careers to do something like a Cade Cunningham. You were also on LaMelo Ball, who had one of his better years, but he just got hurt. So we can't predict injury. Obviously, 65 games is a lot of fucking games, and eventually maybe that does change. Who knows? But we can tell you the guys we do think are going to take that next step. And I'll let you start.
All right, so I broke mine up. I'm gonna start with my lowest tier, like players who are like solid. Who I think is gonna take that next step and be like, okay, like he's here, like he's at that level, not all-star level, but definitely a jump and improvement. And I'm gonna just name them off. I got Bennedict Mathurin, Scoot Henderson, Anthony Black, Matis from the Bulls, and Terrence Shannon Jr. Just to lightly touch on each one of them. Anthony Black, definitely believe this season with the Magic. I think they're going to be more public, like, watching more games of the Magic. The Eastern Conference is weaker now. The Boston Celtics, aren't there. Obviously the Hawks got stronger. The Magic got stronger with that trade. I think Anthony Black is primed for a step up. Realistically, and it sucks to say this, but the Magic had their year of health. They had their year of, no injuries really. They made I forgot what seed they made. I was real high on them, and they lost to Cleveland in the first round.
I think they were fifth seed.
Yeah, they were fifth seed. So realistically, probably peak at 4th, 5th seed, but you're not going to have a healthy season. Desmond Bain, Franz Wagner, Banchero, obviously, I hope they're healthy, but it's kind of tough in the NBA nowadays. You don't see big threes, play that many minutes together. It's real rare. So even the Thunder didn't have a lot of regular season time. So I think Anthony Black's going to step in and really contribute for them. Scoot Henderson, I'm not gonna lie, this is your last year starting if you do not play good. So they brought Damian Lillard back to Portland. So you're on your last straw, buddy. I ain't gonna lie. So this is gonna be the year for Scoot to break out. There's a lot of players on the Trailblazers that I got breaking out. But I think the main one is gonna be
like 4 of them.
Yeah, it's like 4. I ain't gonna lie, 4 candidates for them to break out. But I'm gonna go with Scoot, just because I feel like he got the most to prove this year with. This is probably going to be his last year in Portland starting with Drew Holiday there, and I definitely don't think Dame and Scoot could play together. So
no, I don't think that's realistically likely with the Blazers. It's just like we have that many players that are gonna break out or can break out. You got to realize, like I said, the second apron's a thing. You're gonna have to decide who you think is actually gonna not just break out, but like
Be
take
worthy
over.
to stay.
Like be ready to be that number one. And I think Denny is their current number one. I don't think he's sustainable number one in the West. So you need one of those guards to pop off. I thought Anthony Simons was in for a really good year this year if he stayed. He didn't, so it's like Shaden Sharp, Scoot.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I'm saying? Like they lost Ayton, so like now we got like they kind of do have a hole where like they do need some minutes to disperse in that front court. Yeah. But overall, like I said, they got a lot of young talent. It's hard to imagine that if Scoot don't break out, what his future holds.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because I don't think Dame. I mean, you brought up Denny, but I don't think Dame's good enough. Definitely not good enough to be a number one. Coming off a Achilles injury,
2026 is gonna be the next
it's gonna be tough. So they need somebody to break out. So it's like, 2026, we got Dame and this and that player. So Jeremy Grant is done stealing money. So $30 million every contract, like, you know what I'm saying? He's done. So somebody's going to be somebody else. Bennedict Mathurin. I also put Jarace Walker here. But I stuck with Bennedict Mathurin because he's a shot chucker on a team that has no best player. Well, they have Siakam, but they don't have their star player, their player that brings everybody to the seats. So the Pacers aren't going to be that team that everybody watches out for anymore, and that's sad because they just were in the finals, like literally finals game 7. But they have no point guard. Their offense is going to be sluggish sometimes. They're going to need somebody to get them through the slump. Siakam is he's a cool ass nigga in the regular season. Like he is not going. He might give you one 30 point game a month. I ain't gonna lie. He might give you one, like, and that might be in February. So you gotta think like it's really. 10 games in February. So it's gonna come down to Bennedict Mathurin. Get him out of slumps. I wanted to say Andrew Nembhard here, but
I think Bennedict is just more talented.
Yeah, I
think he's in the spot to potentially just glue those guys together for the short term. Obviously,
yeah.
Like, he is, like I said, way more talented than Nembhard. Nembhard is a really good glue guy.
Really good glue guy.
But for a glue guy
he helps the star players. He does the durable.
I want to stay
players.
in that role, and then Bennedict to elevate instead of both of them have to elevate, and it's like, all right, now we got to pick.
I'm gonna go with Bennedict. I do think Jarace Walker is gonna play more minutes and provide good minutes for them as well.
Yeah, because no Miles Turner, so like
no Miles Turner.
Minutes
He's gonna have to, bro. And then I picked Matis from the Bulls.
Say his full name.
I don't
See what I'm saying?
Buzelis.
I was gonna let you say because I don't know.
I think it's Buzelis. I'm gonna go with Matis Buzelis. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. But just again, you re-signed Josh Giddey. You're kind of committed to this core. I don't know when Vucevic is going to get traded. I don't know if Vucevic wants to be traded. Like, I don't know what's going on. Vucevic has been in trade talks for a minute now.
He retired from EuroBasket.
So
he was jumping up and down. They realized,
that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, relax. He's not retiring from the NBA. Like, relax. So I feel like this is going to be his year to break out. Well, again, with Josh Giddey, a guy who likes to pass, really limited options for scoring. You still got Kobe White there. Kobe White's going to shoot the fucking ball. But, somebody else got to score. So... Gotta be Matis. Did you break yours up in tiers?
I had it's kind of hard for me to explain mine, but I do have I guess two lower tier guys and then two upper tier guys. People that everybody knows about them, obviously. But I'll start off with my number one, who I think is gonna break out. Sneaky MVP, like a future MVP candidate for me, like Alperen Sengun. Had a great Euro basketball run. I mean, just unbelievable. For what he showed me in the playoffs, I know he wasn't amazing. He could have did better, and he could have put his team in better positions, but the Rockets ran a nasty-ass offense. I mean, probably one of the worst offenses we've probably seen in a long time.
Yeah.
When you get rid of a shot checker like Jalen Green, who's literally just a negative player, and a Dylan Brooks who is out there on offensive possessions not knowing what the fuck to do if he doesn't have the ball in his hand shooting, it's kind of hard to, as a big man, to really operate in space as Sengun is. He's a shorter big. Obviously, he's really a power forward that's playing the 5. He's already in a weird spot, but he plays great defense. And he's there. He's a great post defender. He's a great perimeter defender, too. He can switch on guards, as we've seen him do throughout that Warriors series, throughout the regular season. He showed me he can get in, get in somebody's chest, poke the ball away. He's a good deflector and all that. He averaged 19, 10, and 5 last year. Really wasn't a really good three-point shooter last year, but you saw that he wants to extend his range a little bit. In Euro basketball, he shot 31%, so it's an 8% increase. That's a really good thing that probably can make win a game. If you make win a game, That's a big difference.
Yep.
You know, better overall in the field goal percentage, and like even this is kind of like his percentages in the playoffs too. He was 21, 12, and 5. Had 2 steals a game. Like he was their best player by a large margin in that playoff series. Probably the best player in that series overall, realistically, because I don't think Curry played that well. I think he had a couple games, but not really too good. So overall, like I do see Sengun potentially being like a future MVP candidate. He's already as an All-Star reserve last year, so it's hard for me to say he's gonna break out. Yeah. But I do see him being like top of the top. You know, you're gonna start talking about him in the top 12, top 15 range because, like, his passing is at a high level. His rebounding is good enough to sustain with big men, and he can give you 20 a night. How can you really can't complain if he give you 2 steals? You can't complain. Like as the Rockets with KD coming in, I mean, I think they're gonna run some crazy offensive sets where it's like, damn, Jalen Green was that bad, and I think he is that bad. I do think Jalen Green was that bad, to be honest.
It just wasn't a fit. It was just too much talent for him to be like, yo, go win us the game.
Yeah, and it's like that's not. He's just so far from that, and it's like now you take him out of there. You basically put KD in that role where like, all right, we got the closer / you know, settle. All right, let me just get a quick bucket, settle shit down. You know what I'm saying? They give a 6 unanswered. Let me come down here. Back guy down, draw defense in. KD's playmaking has got better, so I do think that'll help Sengun as well. With Fred VanVleet, obviously I wanted an upgrade there, but it's like this offense gonna look like
you gotta know, bro. You got Reed Shepard coming up,
and it said Reed Shepard takes that step, which I probably could have put in here because like I felt like a bit unfair because he really didn't play. I had to see him really play against NBA defense and stuff to see how it would operate. But that's my number 1, Sengun. 2 is Franz. I do think he's an All-Star this year, mainly because Tatum, Haliburton, Lillard, all All-Stars last year. Yep. All are out. There's very wide open. Like, and I'm like, no offense to Evan Mobley, and the Darius Garlands and shit like that, but like, y'all get in because your team record is good. I think we need to stop doing that. Like, stop extending All-Star invitations just because I love Evan Mobley. I do think he's an All-Star, but a fringe All-Star. I feel like he got in pretty easily last year, being a fringe All-Star, and comparing him to Franz last year. I probably would have got Franz in there last year, 24, 6, and 5. He was really good last year. Just the only issue is that that 3-point percentage is really not getting up there. Yeah. I'm kind of worried about his shooting splits going forward, but I do think it helps having Bane be their best shooter now. Probably Paolo's their second best shooter realistically, and then him being like, you know, that third option. Probably in the corner, probably slipping, you know, to the wing, off some poppers and stuff. He's not an elite rebounder by any means. He does have the defense that, you know, Sengun has, ability to switch on, you know, all type of players. But he still can hold his own. He can put the ball on the floor. It's like a better Lauri Markkanen, I feel like, in a way. Just can't shoot the 3-ball as well, but he can score, and he can provide a lot of upside as handling the ball. He's like a secondary playmaker more than Paolo probably is, which is crazy to me. But he is my number 2. I do see him being an All-Star this year. Like, it's crazy. He wasn't last year. I feel like he was snubbed, so it's a perfect spot. Had a good EuroBasket run as well. Not as good as his regular season was, but he won a gold medal. So he's got the I should say the momentum going into the season. That's just damn shit. So do Dennis Schroeder. Shit. What Dennis Schroeder about to do? We talking about breakouts and shit. Let's talk about late breakouts.
32-year-old.
Another guy I got. This is a lower tier guy. Starter last year. Jalen Wells. The usage that Desmond Bane carried, 23.3% usage rate. That has to go somewhere. They got a lot of young guys. But he was the one that broke right last year. They needed somebody to step up to start, especially when Ja was out. He's 6'8", you know what I'm saying? He can guard a lot of positions. As good as Ja and Jaren Jackson are, they really don't have like offense takeover ability. So they do need somebody to step up right now. I think Jalen Wells is a perfect guy. 10, 3, and 2 last year. Shot 35% from 3 last year. If he can maintain that while taking maybe an extra 3 or 2 a game, that's already an extra 15 points probably, realistically. If he gets on the line more, shot the free throws well. I do think he's not the facilitator that Bane is, so it might be hard for him to maintain what Bane did, because Bane was like a 20-point per game scorer. But Jalen Wells to be, potential 15, 4, and 4 kind of guy for them with, better efficiency, more minutes, and, playing the defense side of the ball. If him and Seth can get on the court together, I think that elevates him as well, because he doesn't have to guard the best player either. So there's a lot of things that really can break right for Jalen Wells. Things didn't break right as well for the Grizzlies. They went from hosting a playoff series to playing against the Thunder. It was like, that's a 2-game difference. That sucks. Like, and then Ja gets hurt. I think Jaren Jackson just was not playing well as far as I remember. It was just like, and then they had like a comeback on them. It was like, man, everything's going wrong for this team right now. And it's like, it sucks. Cause like a month ago, they were in a prime position to do something great. They were holding that like top 4 seed, all year, and then eventually just everything goes crashing down. And you see on the other hand, the team they lost to, the Wolves. They lost that to the Wolves, and it's like the Wolves end up going to the conference finals. It's like that's a tale of two takes. That's how it goes. But Wells is somebody I do think that's going to take over for a guy that just leaves during trade. It's wide open. Anybody could take it, but he already showed that he is a starter. He's an Iron Man kind of guy, So he played 79 games last year. Of course, he breaks his hand or something like that. Something happened. Something crazy happened on a dunk or something like that. Played 79 games, lost his playoff chance, which I really would have loved to see him against the OKC Thunder. Would have helped him a lot going into this season, but it is what it is. I got Khalil Ware as my last guy. He showed he could play last year. That's not some crazy thing to say, but he averaged 9, 7, and 1. He became a starter. He was hooping, man. He was just a fun guy to watch. Super athletic. People call him like Baby Wemby and shit, and it's just like I really don't see that realistically. I see him like a Miles Turner-esque player, but if you substitute probably a little bit of shooting, you get a little bit of rebounding. And just like they're in that same kind of pipeline. Probably never gonna be an elite scorer ever. But he's a potential double-double guy. He was in college, 16 and 10, averaged 2 blocks as well. He can protect the rim. He wants to shoot. He showed confidence in the ability to shoot, and that's all you can ask for a young guy as a rookie. I don't like to usually try to do rookie. It sucks that I did 2 rookies last year, but it's like they're in perfect positions that they can take over some minutes. And he also played next to Bam, which Bam has needed a center next to him for the last 5 years. And I feel bad for Bam because like I look at Bam, it's like if he could play the 4, maybe one day he'll be defensive player of the year. Because it's not like he's going to get killed by, a guy that's just bigger than him, better than him. Like, he had to guard Embiid, for 5 years.
6'8",
like,
6'9", that's crazy.
It's like, I can't deflect everything, Like, the deflection game can only work so much. But, Ware's pretty good. I see him going, he's at 22 minutes per game last year. He can get towards 30. That's probably a double-double guy. Overall, I do want to see that 3-ball shot, another attempt, maybe a game. If he could do that, I mean, he's like a real untouchable, I feel like, for Miami right now. Because he can protect the rim still, because he's, he can move as well as he is, like 7-footer moving like that. So you got something special, but, putting him next to Bam, and you got Tyler Hero at the point as of right now. The team is still weird, but if Khalil Ware can provide you some value and more minutes per game, it's not a lot of centers that can give you 30 minutes per game right now. But if he can, he already shows that he's like untouchable, because if you give him to a team like, like
the wrong team,
the Grizzlies, then you well, shit, we just fucked up, because now we got Jaren Jackson, probably a better defender than Bam, playing at the 4, doesn't got to get beat up in the West. Like in the East, he's in the perfect spot to eventually be a really good center. Probably not like elite, but I see him being like, as I said, a future untouchable for this team, because they don't have players like this. They only get the guys that can spot up and shoot. They barely can put the ball on the ground. They can't facilitate the offense. Like Khalil Ware can do. He can score a little bit, rebound a little bit. He's super athletic. He can protect the rim. Like, not a lot of guys can do that. But that was like my top 4 guys. I didn't really have any like real honorable mentions. But on top of my head, like I said, like I do think Cade Cunningham can take that MVP candidate kind of season. He was really flirting with like legendary status. Super efficient last year. So he'll probably, like, if I had to like call my shot at MVP right now, it'll probably be Cade Cunningham right now. But I like your Anthony Black pick a lot. I think he emerges as probably a guy that can eventually close games for them, realistically. A big guard like that, that can defend and put the ball on the court and give you guys some easier shots. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
I had one last one. It was Terrence Shannon Jr.
I like him too to take over for NAW. That's a perfect spot for him to be. And then you look at it like that's usually what breaking out is all about. Opportunity opens up and you just step up. Like, it's hard to just for your opportunity to get worse and then you emerge. Like I've seen a lot of guys. I'm like Isaiah Collier and stuff like that. It's like I like Isaiah, but it's like it's on the Jazz, and they just brought a lot of young guys. Like, I don't want to pick nobody from the Jazz. Why? Because like They got like 7 new young guys.
They just got.
It's like everybody's under 25.
They just got a new guard in the draft. I don't know how.
Yeah, Walter Clayton.
Walter Clayton. Flip is looking good.
Yeah, Flips look great.
So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, everybody can't break out for the Jazz. If we could talk about the Jazz all day, but it's like I don't want to pick.
They need somebody to break out at that point. And then I got my little second tier. I don't have no like all. I have some all NBA jumps, but they're like guys who kind of like fringed, kind of were always there. You know what I'm saying? Then either get hurt or it's just players that just played spectacular better than them. But this is kind of like my if they made the All-Star game, I wouldn't be shocked list. And it is Amen Thompson, Jalen Johnson, and Trey Murphy. Now Amen Thompson and Trey Murphy is gonna be tough because they're in the West. But Amen Thompson, he's gonna be on the Rockets team. That's gonna be talked about a lot more. I feel like they kind of got swept under the rug, especially in that Warriors series. I mean, they lost, but it's like people didn't even give them a chance to win, just because they was led by Jalen Green and Sengun, who they really haven't proved nothing. So now that they got Kevin Durant, they're gonna be respected more. They're gonna be talked about more. I feel like Amen Thompson, really like the way he plays. You almost could say he has no weaknesses in his game. Like, he's not getting played off the court because of shooting. He's an All-NBA defender. He's a world athlete. And we're talking about, okay, well, he can't shoot. Well, if he can make shots at a 35, 36, if he hits a 3 at a 35, 36% clip, it's over, bro. Like, he's beyond 3-and-D. Like, he can't even be a 3-and-D player, how athletic he is. He brings playmaking, cutting, rebounding, all that. So if he go out there and average like 19, 8 and 4, or 19 or 20, or borderline 20, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, I could see him pushing for the All-Star game, depending on the Rockets' record. Trey Murphy, again, and it's sad to say this, he's in New Orleans, a team that gets a lot of injuries. So realistically, he just came off averaging 21. 6'8", 6'9", dude that could shoot from the logo. I mean, you gotta put some type of stock into that. Hopefully he could play 65 games. The injury bug hits everybody in New Orleans, but if he could stay healthy, I expect him to stay around those numbers, 21, 22. Maybe he can jump up to 24, depending on how the team looks. And then Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson was breaking out. I think the Hawks are going to be contending.
Right there, man. He's literally right there.
In the Eastern Conference, where, like you said earlier, there's guys that's going to be out, missing games. And that's just the players that's out coming into the season. We don't know. Like, Banchero missed, I believe, the All-Star game last year.
Yeah, because he was
hurt. Yeah, so there's guys that's already missing, and then there's going to probably end up being guys that miss during the season. So I think Jalen Johnson can push in there and make the All-Star game. And it's crazy because you look at the Hawks. They just had the number 1 pick last year, and it's tough to say he's going to break out because Jalen Johnson's right there. Porzingis is there. They just picked up Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Trae Young, I can't put on this list because he's averaging 25 and 12. So, I mean, I don't know what more he can do, but he should be an All-Star next year. I definitely expect Jalen Johnson to push for that All-Star game as well. So, those are my 3 guys who are like, if they make the All-Star game next year, I wouldn't be surprised just based off what I've seen last year and the jump I expect them to take. And now for my All-NBA one, kind of fringe players, it's not that many. Number 1, I said Anthony Davis just because – the big man spot is tough. We looking at players like Anthony Davis, like, if Victor Wembanyama gets hurt, he can win Defensive Player of the Year. Like, if he gets hurt. Players like Evan Mobley, stuff like that. So, I think AD can definitely have a Defensive Player of the Year type season. Definitely should have had one already. Probably too late for him, but I definitely think he could push for one this year. There's a lot of guys. He's at the 4 this year. First time in probably damn near a decade. He's at the 4. Since he had DeMarcus Cousins, really. So, I mean, he played the 4 in L.A. with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, but that was just, go guard Jokic. Get a big body on Jokic. Clint Capella, those type of guys. So, him at the 4 this year. He got Cooper Flagg, Derek Lively. He got some guys that could take the pressure off him to where he doesn't have to, expose his body out like that the entire season. So I definitely expect him, average about 2.5 blocks, 1.5 steals, have one of those Defensive Player of the Years. He had a really good season for the Mavericks. When he played, he just got hurt. I think he had a crazy debut game and got hurt. So you ask anybody to play 65 games, if AD could play 65 games, salute to him, man.
Yeah.
So we have to go with him. And then 2 more. My second one, maybe a little biased, but I got Zion Williamson here, bro.
He's right there.
Sad, bro. He's right there.
He looks the part. He is the player that we know he is. It's just health.
Yeah, he's just health, bro. Just health. It's another year of me saying if he's healthy. If he's healthy. You know, and I think this is more of a make or break year for New Orleans because they don't have their first round pick. The Hawks got it. So you're gonna need Zion this year, man. It's new management, you know, new players. You got Jordan Poole, you know, you got a new, you know what I'm saying? Just a new regiment under, you know, what's going on in New Orleans. You know, Zion, you know, when he's healthy, average 20. He's two-time All-Star. Started in the All-Star game one year, but got hurt. So it's tough, man. But if he's healthy, bro, he's like he's one of the best players in the league, man. And it sucks because we never get him healthy. We never get him healthy. But I got him there, man. He just got to take that step. And my last player, which is kind of. It's kind of tough because of the situation he's in, but you know what I'm saying? I think all NBA, it's tough, man. It's tough. And I did say Trae Young. Even though I brought him up earlier, I did say Trae Young because he has Porzingis now. Hopefully Jalen Johnson is back healthy. I do expect the Hawks to be competitive this year. And with them being competitive, you know, we're going to look at Trae Young, but, his stats look good. Like, let's throw him up there. Mm-hmm. So I definitely expect him to push, you know, kind of all-NBA status. Again, it's tough. You know, there's no position lock. But, I mean, realistically, they don't want to say there's no position lock, but Shea, Luka, Steph, like, Jokic. Like, that's damn near 4 guaranteed. So, it's really 11 spots open.
LeBron is guaranteed.
LeBron's guaranteed.
He's going to be captain or not. They don't do the captain.
LeBron and Giannis.
They're not letting LeBron not get out of it.
You feel me? LeBron and Giannis there. So, all NBA, in terms of that jump, it's tough. It's tough. But I do think Trae Young has the wherewithal to do it. You know, I feel like ATL going to be turned up this year. So, those is like my fringe guys that, like, could make an all-NBA jump. Really probably won't do it, but if they had great seasons, I'd be like, okay.
Fringe All-Star I was looking at last year. I forgot how good Norman Powell was last year. And it's random because, like, I did also forget he got traded to the Heat. So I just forgot his whole life, apparently. I don't know shit about him. I forgot who he was. I forgot. But think about late breakouts, dude. 31 years old last year. His best year of his career, he averaged 21. You know what I'm saying? Shooting 48, 41. You know, and was it 80 from, like, that's crazy splits. Super high microwave guy, like high efficiency microwave guy. Like, they don't make them like that no more. Like, it's hard to find a guy that's good. He's been averaging over 15 points like for like at least almost 5 years now, I want to say. Like, everywhere he goes, he can put up points. He's a good bench player, but he turned to that starter, played really well, didn't get the all-star, you know, nod. Obviously he wasn't because it's Norman Powell, and people would have been like, oh, Norman Powell in the all-star game. Who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't making up like Devin Booker's or De'Aaron Fox's or even Kyrie. Kyrie was a bad snub as well, but the Norman Powell in the East, like I said, East is wide open. Anything can happen. Like I said, this is the injuries we know about. The Tatums, the Haliburtons, the Danes. That's the ones we know about right now. And I think more things can break right for Norman Powell to get in there in the East. Like, it might not be a sexy name, you know what I'm saying? But, like, you got to think that, like, Jaylen Brown might be a guarantee because he'll be taking way more shots. He's going to be in way more opportunities. As long as he's healthy, he might be a lock. You know what I'm saying? He went from being a fringe to, like, probably a lock.
He might dare take the Tatum spot.
And I like the Trae Young one, too, because, you know what I'm saying, like, and it sucks because, like, technically that was not even, like, a really good year for him. But he did have a career high in assists, but, like, he averaged 24 points. You know what I'm saying? His efficiency wasn't necessarily there, but still a great player. And if the Hawks are good, like you said, like, the Rockets are good with Amin. If the Hawks are good, I think they're going to be a top 4 team. They're lacking something. I can't really put my finger on it right now. They're lacking something. I just don't know what it is. I got to see him play a little bit. But they are lacking something. But as long as they're a top 4 seed, he should get in. As long as I've known, they be saying, like, wins matter.
Yeah. And
it's like, if wins matter, they need to reevaluate what an all-star is, man. Because if wins matter, Wemby could never make it.
Ever make it, bro.
Yeah, I want him to be in so bad, but he can never make it until he starts winning.
That nigga Sabonis been going crazy. I think he'd have made more all NBAs and All-Star games at this point. I don't know what the criteria is anymore.
Yeah, we don't know. So at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, Haliburton was a fringe guy. Somebody else has to step into that role. You know what I'm saying? We had the Tyrese Maxey who was going crazy last year, but they were saying they didn't win enough. And it's like, do we have to win for an all-star player, or like is an all-star team, and then that all-star team picks 2 players? He's like, we know certain guys are out, and anything can happen, and we know we got the locks, but the French all-stars are so hard to pick because like it is a name, thing. Like you have to have the name. They get like 2 or 3 new guys in on each side that you can't deny. Like you couldn't deny Kate Cunningham this year, but at the same time, they denied him the starting spot. Like he didn't start, so it's like, was he the best point guard last year in the East? There's a legit argument for that, but you look at it on the other side, it's like, well, Jalen Brunson's team is better, and that's the case, and Jalen Brunson be starting, and Don Mitchell team's number 1 seed, so he should get in and start. Why? Like we gotta, like if we going off of that, like that's an NBA thing. Like if it was up to me, obviously I don't think the Cavs should have been as well represented as they were. Like I said, I thought France should have got in, didn't get in. He was a French all-star who I think is going to take that jump. But it's hard for anybody to predict French all-stars being into the spot because it's so biased. It's a name thing. And like you do have, I said the random Norman Powell years, where it's like that might be an outlier year, but 2 years ago they had Andrew Wiggins in there.
That's true.
I think China was going crazy for him. Like,
no, I think he started right on my bucket.
Yeah, he was. I was like, who would have fucking thought that Andrew Wiggins would have got in and started? And it's like, why is he in the game? It's like, well, I mean, I guess he got the support. They changed the whole votes up. They changed the way that shit operated. Like, I don't think we want Andrew Wiggins in our game anymore. So it's like, I mean, I get it. He definitely wasn't an all-star, but
you athletic. You ain't even dunking in the game.
Like, well, he technically was an all-star by name, but featured in the game not much. So overall, like the NBA players, they have a lot to worry about in the 82-game season. And when you see guys breaking right, there's nothing better than when a guy breaks right and you see their team start to break right because their role has only elevated. So like when we seen Jalen Williams break right, we knew like, all right, like this is probably a title contender now because he finally is breaking right. He's doing the right things. He's finally fitting into that mold. But when some guys are taking, a little bit longer, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We get late breakouts. We get early breakouts because people never return back to form. Like, we might not never see Devin Booker in the All-Star game again if we talk about wins and losses because that team not looking good. It is what it is. And, like, Devin Booker be hooping, but, like, it is what it is. It just, we got to
It's like Devin Booker chilled. It's like Devin Booker chilled. He made the finals, and it's like, he chilled. Like, it's like he's still playing like he on that finals team.
Like, I'm chilling.
Still getting that same media coverage. Like, he be hooping. He be hooping, but it's like he ain't take no extra 5-point per game jump that I guess motherfuckers want him to. So
I'm saying it's like tough, like when Bradley Beal did it, and everybody was like, kind of like, oh well, it's Bradley Beal. Like, like he can he do it on a good team, and he has like a very efficient 20-point per game season, and nobody gives a fuck. It was like, well, I thought he could average 30 on a good team. It's like, well, that's not likely.
Not with KD and Booker there.
Not with KD and Booker.
Or not KD and
and you damn near not doing that shit ever again because you got Harden next year, and you got Kawhi next year. And I'm saying, like, it's only gonna get harder and harder for like certain guys to like keep that 30-point per game status because I don't think it's very likely. That's made for the upper echelons, like the fucking SGAs and shit. Like that's the reason why it's hard to imagine. Like it's so many guys that can score now. You don't need a 30-point per game score. It's a rarity, and it's cool that SGA did it. But he was a potential Achilles tear away from not winning that finals. And a 19-point per game scorer with a 21-point per game scorer and a stretch big who only got 6 rebounds a game winning the fucking fight. Like anything could have happened.
That's crazy. You brought those two teams. Well, you brought Bradley Beal because I was looking at the Suns and Clippers for breakout players. I don't even think the Clippers are going to be an NBA team in a month. You know what I mean? Really hard to pick down. There, and then the Suns, I'm like, bro, it's like anybody could be their third best player, bro.
Yeah, because
like Ryan Dunn, they rookie.
Yeah, Ryan Dunn, I guess, is like somebody I can see.
It was just so many. But Ryan Dunn, it's like Dylan Brooks is taking Ryan Dunn's spot. Like, or maybe not. I don't know. So I don't know.
Yeah, technically, he's getting paid $22 million a year. Ain't no way he not getting some burn.
You got to get some type of burn. Those are two teams I looked. I'm like, damn, I can't find one guy where I'm like confident in. It's tough, man. It really is.
Mark Williams might break right. You know what I'm saying? Like, as he has been, but if he can provide more minutes. I mean, last year he was very, good, 15 and 10. Most minutes per game in his career, but he played 44 games. So, like, the health is a problem, and you can't really play him more. But if you can play him more and make him more of an impact player, But they also got the rookie come on, so he can step up into that center role. Who can switch on to multiple positions as well. The Suns are a weird team. I don't think we see a breakout player from this team. Just looking at it, I'm looking at like.
It's a lot of opportunity going around, but
there's a lot of guys on this team. I will admit there are a lot of men that play basketball on that team. I just don't know which one is gonna break out.
I don't know, man. It's tough.
And we were speaking of the Jazz roster. I just kind of look at it real quick because
the Jazz,
I wish they had. I think they got their ages listed here.
Because I wanted to say Flip so bad. I'm like, bro, there's so many players on that team.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 players under 25 and under. You know what I'm saying? Your oldest player, man, is Kevin Love really on this team?
I don't think he know he on this team.
Well, me? I play in Utah.
You know what I'm saying?
You do play for our team.
I know,
but like, if we're talking about players that might actually make an impact, Georges Niang is their oldest player at 32. Nurkic at 31. But after that, like, you got like Walker Kessler, Walter Clayton, Bryce Sensabaugh, who can fucking light it up. Taylor Hendricks, who we don't know about that right now. Cantor George, who actually kind of did break right last year for them. Flip, who had a crazy summer league. Cody Williams, who was considered the worst rookie last year, worst rookie 2 years ago, whatever. Isaiah Collier, who was really good as a playmaking guard. And you got Ace Bailey, who's just coming in. Very, very wide range of outcomes for this team. I don't see a team jump, but just need one player to break right. You really just need one guy to break right. Who is it going to be? I do think Bryce Sensabaugh makes the most sense if I was looking at this roster. Just because Keontae George already did, I don't really see him getting too much better. Bryce can shoot like crazy, but he's like 6'5", really doesn't play make. So it's like he kind of is like that short guard who really can't do much as a guard. So we kind of like force him to be like a forward that spots up. That's weird. He has like a weird trajectory. Like, but you do need guys like that off the bench. And like, I don't see him being a starter because like the way they run their lineup, and I do think Ace Bailey probably is a day one starter. Probably should be. But you got Walker Kessler who they've been waiting on to take some threes. He could break if he breaks right and start taking some threes.
They sending that nigga out so quick. They gonna trade. Send him out.
And then we got a situation where like, all right, well, if Walter Kessler gets traded, moved on from, then we got, all right, now it's more opportunity for like a Ace Bailey or a Bryce Sensabaugh to take more shots, or Isaiah Collier to actually start, scoring a little bit more because he can score, but he's more of a playmaking first guard. Like, so I do see like the Jazz, like one of those tough teams where like, yeah, we probably got to see some guys get moved around. Because after second apron, you don't want three guys to break out. Then you got to choose.
You got to choose.
If you can probably pick, I'm sure you'll probably pick Flip to break out right now. Because he is younger and you probably can pay him less. Because you could pay him right now instead of Walter, who has to get paid also right now. And it's like, we'll probably try to trade at least one of these contracts coming up. Those are really interesting teams. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
It's hard to find one there. And I was like, I think we text you about the Bucks. I'm like, never mind. I was like, somebody got to break around the Bucks. Is like, actually, probably not.
Like, let's look at Cole Anthony, Kevin Porter Jr. and
Kevin Porter Jr. is probably the likeliest suspect.
Yeah, but I mean, Gary Trent broke out in the playoffs, but it's like that nigga playing for the minimum again. I think it's like,
yeah. I'm looking at it. It's like it's probably Kevin Porter Jr. Cole Anthony is a decent pickup. I don't see him working that well next to Giannis though. Yeah. They need defense when you're out there with Giannis. That makes him that much better. Andre Jackson Jr. be waiting for. He's an athletic forward, but I don't know.
Yeah, ain't looking good.
That's really about it. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be an interesting team. And it's like, they got Amir Coffey. I didn't know Amir Coffey was 28 years old. So there's that.
Yep.
I think he's been here for 3 years.
Been in the league 3 years.
Yeah,
Clippers picked him up when he was 26.
Drafted him from fucking Burger King or something. I don't know what the fuck y'all found this nigga. But they got Mark Sears, you know what I'm saying, coming in, rookie. But he's already 23 years old. So, like, things got to break right soon. Because, this is already a team that's, you expect to be in the playoffs as long as you got Giannis.
Yep.
So, if you're not ready to play playoff basketball, you're probably not going to play all. So, that means we'll see. That's a couple of teams I'm worried about. Bucks, Suns, and Clippers we talked about.
Yeah.
Jazz as well. Jazz. If you want to be anybody, you'll be the Jazz because you got multiple chances.
Yeah, Jazz is too much.
You got multiple chances with the Suns and the Bucks and like the Clippers. You don't have any chance.
Yeah, sometimes too much.
You need your star to take that.
I mean, the Clippers is looking crazy, man. I don't know. They're well coached, and they got James Harden and Beal, but shit, them motherfuckers might not have picks. Kawhi, shit, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's one of those where like when you see a breakout player, like depending on what status they are, like you said, Jalen Johnson. If he can break right, the Hawks are just like they're a contender. Like really, you just need one guy to break right, and it's like, how do you even find that? Like they need like a rim runner who can just put his head down and just get a nasty bucket here and there, because that's a real thing. But and you look at the Hawks, it's like they're like a pretty boy team though. They don't get dirty, they don't draw a lot of fouls. They shoot, they all spot up, they all can shoot, and it's like I don't know. If this doesn't look like a playoff team.
I think they really just liking that secondary ball handler right now. Like Trae Young, he come off a screen, he get trapped. Who can you throw the ball to kind of hold it down for him? You got Porzingis, who we don't know if he's gonna be healthy or not.
If he's healthy, that's huge for them. That's huge. That is everything for them. That changes their whole entire team. Because then Jalen Johnson can turn to that. But when Dyson Daniels broke right last year, we're like, all right, this is a playoff team. And then you realize like they're 31-31 through 62 games. It's like everything happened the same way. But you got NAW coming in, obviously, who is a really, really solid player. Has playoff experience, has big shot ability. Luke Kennard, big shot ability, fucking sniper. Zachary, who was really good down the stretch. They got a lot of things that can break right, but you also are probably nervous if things break right too. Cause like second apron's a big thing. I do see it. Keep talking about Trae Young getting traded. They want the motherfucker get traded so bad. At this point, here.
I look at
damn,
a situation.
Like can I
this point, bro? I look at a situation where like if the Pelicans end up being ass and they get like a top 3 pick, I think it's Trae Young.
Trae Young is probably gone. Yeah,
he gone.
Where? Who knows? That ain't my job to predict where he goes.
I think we've been mocking point guards to the Spurs. They got 4 of them now.
Yeah, they got 4 of those days are over. His days are boring now. It used to be fun, but now
that nigga going to the Mavericks. To fucking Daniel Gafford or some shit.
Hey, you never know. It might happen like that, because then there's gonna be a situation where the Mavericks might be too motherfucking old, and they might get rid of Kyrie or something. Who knows? Anything can happen. The Trae Young still to the Magic.
Or shit, Jaylen Brown putting it in the air. He want to be on the Hawks. Never say never.
All right, let me just throw something in there, like it's like then you got Trae Young and Jay Tatum. It's like that's a nasty mix. So you got a lot of the Hawks. I said they might be in the same position as the Jazz. Too many people break out. You got to make a trade. You get that top 3 pick. Probably got to make a trade. It's a good position to be in, because you rather have like options than 0 options. Like, I'd rather take a risk than no risk. And everybody talking about like getting a center. It's like I thought Nyeka did all right, but Porzingis is the guy they need to be healthy. Their whole team needs to be healthy. They have probably the most risk team ever. Yeah, I've never seen a team with this much risk in a while. But let's see how it goes. Thank y'all for joining us, though. We appreciate our support. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe like what you heard today. Also, with a bunch of sports coming out, I'm going to try to get y'all a little bit of everything. But y'all let us know what you want the most. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? We talk about the week 1 reactions. Motherfuckers correcting Damian on the height of Josh Allen.
Yo,
like,
niggas was going crazy.
If we're doing that, and that's a problem for y'all, then it's like, all right, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't be perfect. We can only be who we are. But we do appreciate all the support, all the comments, all the likes, shares, and whatnot. It's amazing to see, all the people coming around, week 1 reactions. But so far, so good for the start of sports. NBA is coming up in a month, so we're going to be doing a lot more NBA stuff leading up to it, NBA teams, tier lists, stuff like that we did last year. So we appreciate all of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.